Hello, hello. No sound detected. Mhm. Hello, hello, hello. Can I hear myself? Okay, can hear myself. Hi, hi, 你好 Twinkle. Okay. Um, user 145.42.016.297. Hi, 你好. Don't ask me what's your name. I don't remember. Now it's like we do the live. I think once every month. So whatever y'all told me a month ago, I don't think I remember. But what's up, Tingle? Okay, how's school for everyone? I hope like school has been fun. Going back to school almost a month already, right? So all the orientation, good. Okay, great. So all the orientation should be like over and I think for P6 y'all should have already started on photosynthesis, right? Photosynthesis respiration should be almost done. And if your school is a bit or your teacher is a bit faster, you all should be doing forms of energy right now. Danny Safa, hi. Okay, so it's got about 5 more minutes. Can um, chit chat with you all a bit. Okay, so this year P6, I think there's no more cells, right, for tested for y'all, but you still need to know roughly what is a cell lah. So don't be too surprised when they ask for like what is a reproductive cell. This one I think you should know. Hola is Spanish or what? I think it's Spanish. Okay. All right. Then forms of energy and forms of energy. We have already done in AGrader. So today we're gonna go through some question on them. Hopefully, those who have not done the topic will not find it too confusing. But forms of energy typically is not too confusing, and students are usually quite good at it. Okay, so if you have not learned it, I think it will be a good chance for you to kind of like grasp a very good idea of what's going to happen, because I will definitely explain some basic concept lah when I'm doing and going through the questions, right? Okay, so just to hang around. um, Chinese New Year is coming in a month's time, right? So all of you are getting ready to get your ang pao money. But I know there will be some of y'all who your parents will keep your money for you, right? So unfortunately, yep, you cannot use it and spend it. Okay, but still, yep, I hope they will put the money in a bank so that many years later you can use it. Okay, so true. Hi, Jacob. Okay, yep. I mean, when I was young, my parents don't really keep, but they do tell us to like they do allow us to spend a bit, and then the rest we will keep in the bank lah, keep in the bank account. So I remember when we were young during Chinese New Year, when I get to my cousin's place, then we will all get together and then we will go to the arcade to play. And then the adults will play mahjong, adults will gamble, and they will they will drink, eat, they will chit chat, right? But those are not like kind of not the young people's things, right? Especially when you're like primary school kids. Okay, you want to go out to play. I don't know how many of y'all like can go out, because surprisingly, when I talk to my students, it seems like not a lot of parents nowadays allow y'all to like go out on your own. Okay, I don't know, but when I was young, yeah, we used to go out with our cousin, and it's so fun. We just go out, and I also don't know why my parents, like, our parents don't really care about us. They have no worry that we will get kidnapped. Going on a Royal Caribbean during Chinese New Year. Okay, Kenny, not Karin. Okay, Kenny. I hope I got your name correct. I've never been on a cruise before. I don't know. Yep, I heard it's a lot of resting, eating. I know there's a lot of activities on the cruise. So, but I know there's a lot of old people who like to go. Yeah. Oh, today we are gonna be doing photosynthesis and forms of energy. Okay. So photosynthesis should be something that you have really covered in school. Okay, but energy, I'm not sure if you have covered before. Then you never go Batam. I did go Batam before, only once. Okay, also not really a fan of like going to Batam or all these places. Going once or twice is fine. Yep. But yes, there's gonna be Kahoot today. All right. Hopefully you're ready. Gonna be Kahoot. Stay until the end. Okay. Before I start, the online lessons registration is still open. Right. If you are keen on the online lesson, let me just find out who are having the online lessons. Okay, on Thursday, right, you can attend the P5 science. Okay, teacher Jody will be teaching the P5 science. There's also the P6 English. Teacher Arena will be teaching the P6 English on Thursday. And then Friday will be my class, P6 science, but I think unfortunately my P6 class is full. Okay, there's also on Friday, P5 mathematics, teacher Sherilyn. Right, Sushi Monster, yes, I remember you. Okay, but I don't remember your name. Eden or something, is it? Okay, then on Saturday, right, there's gonna be the P5 English by teacher Lian, and also there's the P6 mathematics, okay, by teacher Felicia. Okay, so these are. Oh, you mean I got it correct? Your name is really Eden. Eden or Eden, not Eden. I think it's Eden. Okay. Okay, looks like my memory is still serving me well. Okay, then let's get started on today's lesson because there's going to be a Kahoot. Eden, okay, you see, I remember. Because you're the only one that tells me your name. Maverick, hi. Maverick sounds familiar. I think you've been to my life before, right? Maybe, yes? Okay. Slack Queen 8, also not so familiar. If you're new, hi. Okay. Okay, let's get started and slowly get into some MCQs first, all right? So for question 1, study the transfer of energy between the organisms below. Okay, while this question may look a bit like a food chain, food web, okay? Haven't learned energy yet, but I'm sure you've learned photosynthesis, respiration, at least. Asher Fu, yes, I remember you. I definitely see you before, but I don't remember your name. Okay, so but all the energy topic that we have covered, right, especially the recent one, you will learn that energy can only be converted from one form to another, right? So photosynthesis, respiration is the beginning of. Hi, Alice. Hello. Got echo. Hold on, let me check my mic first. I hope it's not double mic. Okay, there's only one mic. So last year I said I will not forget. That was last year. This year, a new year, new me. Okay, so let me just finish this question first before I chit chat with you. Okay, so this like energy transfer, right, starts with a plant, right? So plant, hopefully you remember, is able to convert, right, light, okay, to food, right? So you will learn that food is actually a chemical potential energy, a form of stored energy. I'm gonna sneeze. Okay, so the question is asking which of the following is true. Right, number one, the rabbit gets its energy from the snake. Well, if the rabbit eats the snake, then the rabbit will get the energy from the snake. Okay, but unfortunately, the rabbit is gonna be eaten by the snake, so it's the other way around. Okay, the snake will get the energy from the rabbit. Okay, just like if you eat the chicken wing, then you're getting the energy from the chicken wing as well, right? Okay. Okay, the sun is the direct source of energy for the owl. If the sun is the direct source of energy for the owl, then the owl don't need to eat anything already. Just stand under the sun. It's gonna get energy. Okay, but it's not direct. It is actually indirect source of energy. Okay, indirect. Okay, so number 2 is also wrong. Okay, I suppose the answer is number 3, but there's no need to spam. All right, so yeah, forces, I don't think you all will do it so early. Forces, definitely you wouldn't have done it in school. Okay. Next, number 3, the plant is the indirect source of energy for the rabbit. Okay, in this case, it's not indirect because the rabbit is consuming the plant, right? So it will be direct. Okay, from here to here, let me change the color. From the plant to the rabbit, it will be direct. Okay, from the plant to the owl, okay, it will be indirect, or from the sun, right? So sun is kind of like the indirect source of energy for all living things, okay, for us. Kahoot, yes, Maverick, there's going to be Kahoot today. Okay, so number 3, also wrong. Okay, I'm sure all of you are like already know number 4 is the answer, right? All animals depend on the plant, okay, directly or indirectly for energy. Okay, even though I know a lot of kids nowadays don't like to eat vegetables, okay, but the chicken wing or the, I don't know, whatever meat that you eat, okay, they also will get energy from the plants directly or indirectly. Okay, so without plants, you will not get all your, I don't know, chicken wing. Why do I keep saying chicken wing? What else do kids like to eat nowadays? Okay, I also don't know, right? Okay, but it's important to eat your vegetables. Okay, so remember to eat your vegetables. Number 4. But yeah, okay, it's good. It's good to like some form of vegetable. When I was young, I also don't like to eat vegetable. But as you get older, I think you will grow into eating vegetable. Chicken wing equals to vegetable. I don't think so. Okay. Okay, we're going to question 2. Question 2 is energy conversion. Okay, a wind turbine generates electricity from wind as shown below. So I don't know how many of you are familiar with wind turbine, okay, because wind turbine is not something that we see in Singapore, right? But in Singapore, we see a lot of solar panels, especially on top of buildings, right? So nowadays, there's more and more solar panels. Okay, which of the following is the source of energy for the wind turbine? Okay, so those of you who are like current student of AGrader and who attend the summary webinar, right, during the one that I hosted, I think a few weeks ago. Okay, so I always emphasize on whenever you look at any energy conversion, right, it's very important to identify the source of energy. Okay, so this is very important. Okay, so the sun is definitely not, right? If this solar panels, then the sun will be. Okay, generator is also not. Generator usually requires some sort of movement. Okay, so moving air is definitely the answer because the wind, right? Okay, let me try to draw some wind. Okay, it's gonna push against the blade and it will cause the blade to spin, right? And so when the blade spin, okay, it's gonna spin the generator, and then the generator will convert the kinetic, okay, energy to electrical energy. Okay, and basically that is how majority of the power station or anything else except for solar panel, because solar panels don't move. Okay, but like all the hydroelectric power station, wave, what else, this one, wind turbine, okay, works based on like they're trying to spin the generator. Okay, so blades of the turbine, if they the blade is just there to like block the wind, right? So that it can so that the wind can cause it to spin. All right. So the blade is also not the source of energy. All right. So hopefully you understand where electricity come from, and then hopefully you also know how electricity is made. Right. You will learn that in forms of energy. I think it's very important to understand where electricity comes from, because we keep using it, but like y'all don't know where it comes from, especially when it's so important, right? It's so important and gives us so much convenience in our life. Okay, wind turbine, hydroelectric power station, all these, the traditional thermal power station, you will learn it in the forms of energy chapter. Okay, we any question? Sorry, just scroll through the chat. Yep. I mean, there's not a lot of spams. It's just people chit chatting away. Okay, no question. Good. All right. Okay, but there's no need to spam the answer. Scroll down. Okay, I guess if there's no question, I'm gonna move on. Right to question three. Question three. Jeremy dropped 4 balls of different mass and at a different height, one at a time. Okay, onto the center of a trampoline. So this is, I suppose, the trampoline, right? And then you drop, okay, and then it's gonna um, bounce bounce up from the trampoline. Okay, he measured the highest height. Okay, each ball bounced up. Okay, so once you read through, okay, I know that there are 4 balls. Okay, different mass, different height. He measured the highest height. Okay, sure. Let me just continue on and read first. Can scroll down, yes, but I'm still reading, because if I scroll like down any further, then the question cannot be seen. Okay. So in which of the following setups would Jeremy measure the highest? Okay, measure the highest height. The ball is gonna bounce up. Okay, so in order for the ball to bounce to the highest height, okay, it must have the most energy. Okay, so I think this is a good chance for me to teach you all a bit about energy and forms of energy. So number one, what kind of energy does the raised ball possesses? Anyone who have already read through the topic on energy? Okay, Aizang, yes, very good. Gravitational potential energy, right? So the raised ball will have what we call GPE. Okay, so it's called potential energy. But potential energy, there are 3 types of potential energy, right? Hopefully you understand what are the 3 types of potential energy. What was the answer for question two? Question two answer is 3. Okay, user 100. Okay, okay. So this gravitational potential energy of the ball, right, is gonna be converted into kinetic energy, right? Kinetic energy is basically the energy in moving objects, right? So chemical, gravitational, elastic, yes, these are the 3 different types of potential energy. But usually there's a bit more emphasis on gravitational potential energy, right? What is potential energy? Potential energy refers to stored energy. So like the food that you eat, okay, is also potential energy, but the food that you eat is considered chemical potential. Okay, elastic potential is like any elastic objects, right? Like spring, rubber band, right? All these elastic objects that can stretch and go back to its original shape will have elastic potential energy, right? You can use it, and you know our favorite, the paper bullet, right? I don't know if you all still do that nowadays. Okay, during my time, we like to do that, right? And then you shoot at your friend, and then okay, your friend always panic, right? And then if people shoot at you, then you start to complain to your teacher. Okay, right? But potential energy, okay, hopefully you all have a basic idea. And then kinetic energy is basically the energy in moving objects, right? So you raise it up, you drop it, you will convert the gravitational potential energy to kinetic energy. Okay, and then after that it will bounce up again, right? So if you want it to like bounce up to the highest height, you want the most energy, but you want the most gravitational potential energy. Okay, and hopefully you'll remember what are the two factors that affects the amount of gravitational potential energy. Number one is mass, and number two is the height of the object. Chemical potential is like food, fuel, okay, petrol, what else? Candle wax. Okay, even firewood. Firewood is also considered chemical potential. All right. So you can think of it as like how do I describe it? Chemical stuff, right? So chemical stuff with energy. Even simple things like biomass. Okay, biomass also possesses a chemical potential energy. Anything that can be burned, right? Paper. What else? Wood. Okay, anything that can be burned, okay, will also be able to produce a chemical potential energy, right? So, okay, these are the two factors which will affect gravitational potential energy. So these are the two things which we will look out for. So mass of the ball is already stated, right? We probably will be interested in 200 gram because 100 gram is lower. And then height of the ball is also, okay, over here, 1 meter, 1 meter, 2 meter, 2 meter. Okay, so I'm interested in the higher height, which is 2 meter, 2 meter, right? Okay, so when you look at the ones that I box up, right? This one I only box the mass. This one is higher. This one is both higher and heavier. I so-called heavier, but larger mass, right? So therefore, which ball will have the most energy, most gravitational potential energy? Will be option 4. Okay, so most gravitational potential energy will give you the most what is that, kinetic energy, and then after that it will bounce to the highest height. Okay, so question, okay, you all can see not the annotation. Okay, question 3, the answer will be number 4. All right. Okay, any question about energy? Because in this question 3 itself, you need to understand what is potential energy and kinetic energy. So that means the question is about mass and height. The question is about like, do you know what are the factors affecting gravitational potential energy? Okay, so the question is not about mass and height. Is about mass and height which affects gravitational potential energy. Okay, so who was the one that asked? YS Turn. Okay, you're partly correct. Why is it not number one? Why is it not number one? Because it is like the mass is lower and the height is lower. Okay, if you don't know which ball has the most energy, very easy. Okay, instead of dropping the ball onto the trampoline, imagine you drop the ball onto your head. Then ask yourself which one will inflict more pain on your head. Okay, the one that inflicts the most pain will have the most energy. So that is one easy way of understanding how energy works. Why on the head? Because then it will hurt. If not, drop on your foot, maybe drop on your toe. Maybe drop on your toe will hurt more. Okay. Okay. Any question about little get brain damage? I'm just saying that as an example. Okay. Okay, but I'm sure like as boys, if you play basketball, soccer, all this, you would have gotten hit by the ball on your head before, right? Okay, so that is also an example of kinetic energy. Okay, if the ball is moving very fast and if it hits your head, well, suddenly you feel like fainting. Okay, because the ball will have a lot of energy. Okay, no question. Gonna move on to the next one. What if he faints? Okay, unfortunately, but of course, like I'm sure he will come around soon. But if he faints due to like the ball hitting the head, that's a concussion. Can be quite serious. So yep, safety is always the first thing we look out for when playing any games and all that, right? Okay, done. Let's go on to question 4. Don dropped a ball onto the ground as shown below. Okay, so this question 4 is a bit similar to just now, that previous question, right? It's about gravitational potential energy converting to kinetic energy. Okay, but the question is asking which one of the following graphs. Okay, a lot of students struggle with reading graphs. So which of the following graphs correctly shows the energy conversion that occur from A to B, right? So from A to B, there are two types of energy conversion that you need to watch out for. So the number one is GPE, right? Gravitational potential energy. Okay, the ball will have gravitational potential energy, and as it drops down, it's going to convert into kinetic energy, right? So I'm going to write both the energy on both sides, right? Okay. At A, because the ball is not moving, right? So kinetic energy is equal to, let's give it a number, okay? It's equal to 0, right? And at a certain height, the gravitational potential energy will be at the maximum. Wait, what's the answer for 3? Oh my goodness, the answer for 3 is 4. Okay, actually I can type it. Okay, answer for question 3, oh wait, question 3 is equals to 4. Okay, can. So for this question, right, let's give the gravitational potential energy a number. Okay, maybe 100, right? Because you are very familiar with 100, right? 0 marks to 100 marks, okay? Potential energy will be a lot cause when no kinetic energy, there will be potential energy. Not true, it really depends on its position. Okay, but in this case, there will be potential energy. Oh no, like if an object is on the ground, an object on the ground has no kinetic energy, but it's also considered no potential energy as well. Okay, so the gravitational potential energy as it drops down will slowly drop from 100 to 0. Okay, so the GPE here, okay, you can think of it as equals to 0, and then the kinetic energy is different. The kinetic energy, because as it drops down, the ball is going to get faster and faster and faster, right? So the kinetic energy, you can think of it as 100 because very fast, okay? So this is what it means by gravitational potential energy, okay, will convert into kinetic energy. So from here, you can see that the gravitational potential energy is decreasing, decrease, okay, and then the kinetic energy is increasing, right? So we're going to look for the potential energy that is decreasing. Teacher Jody, hi. The imitation teacher Jody is finally here. The imposter is back. Okay, potential energy that is decreasing. Okay, so this is the potential energy, right? Let me just highlight all the potential energy as yellow. Can you see the ones at the bottom? Yes. Okay, so this is definitely wrong. This is definitely wrong. This is also wrong. There's only one answer. Okay, the answer is number 4, right? But our objective here is not to find the answer. Remember, our objective here is to learn something about energy. Okay, kinetic energy, I'm gonna use blue color. So kinetic energy will be wait. I think I'm doing something wrong. Oh, no. I'm correct. Sorry. Okay, kinetic energy will be increasing. Okay, so kinetic energy will be increasing. Okay, so this is wrong. Kinetic energy cannot be the same. Okay, so decreasing, this is fine. This is fine. Okay, but this is also oh, wait. Sorry. I'm getting confused. Decreasing is wrong. Okay, decreasing is wrong. Only this is correct. Okay, only option 4 is correct. Okay, so sorry, a bit confusing. Now the highlights are confusing me instead of making it clearer. Okay, so the answer is number 4 because pick the one where the potential energy is decreasing. Pick the one where the kinetic energy is increasing. Okay. Okay, if you can get it correct, that means you probably understand how to see the energy conversion from potential to kinetic, which is very good. Go and eat. Wow, okay, I haven't eaten my dinner also, but I ate a very late lunch, so I'm not hungry yet. Very well. I don't understand which one is the potential energy, the gravitational energy or kinetic energy. Wait, I don't understand your question, YS Chen. Which one is the potential energy? Um, okay, kinetic energy is energy in moving objects. So things that don't move don't have kinetic energy. All right, YS Chen. So things that move will have kinetic energy. So over here, the ball is not moving, so there's no kinetic energy. Okay, but the ball will have gravitational potential energy because you lift it up, right? Okay, I hope that will clarify your question. Okay, any question? Things that don't move have all potential energy? Huh? No. Okay, things that don't move, if it is on the ground, don't have potential energy. Okay, because remember, gravitational potential energy is due to height, right? So if there's no height, then there's no gravitational potential energy. At least it's gonna finish at 8. Okay, any more question about energy? I think all of you are asking very good question. How many potential energy are there? You will be learning 3 types of potential energy: chemical potential, gravitational potential, and elastic potential. Is there a break? No, there's no break. It's only a 1-hour session. So later on when we're doing the Kahoot, that's considered the break already. Okay, any more question? Affecting them factors. AGrader is 2 hours. Yeah, the paid lesson is 2 hours, but this is not a paid lesson. This is a free session, right? Okay, with worksheet provided somehow. You can download the worksheet. Okay, so usually the TikTok live is only like for 1 hour, but I think if you focus during this 1 hour, I'm sure you will learn some good things. No printer, just download the worksheet and load it into your iPad. I'm sure you have an iPad, right? I think all primary school students need to have an iPad or something. Yeah, okay, so yes, there's many ways to solve the problem. You don't have to print it out, okay? You can just load it into your iPad and just see, okay? Okay, so which A-grader center am I at? No, I'm at home now. I'm not at the A-grader center. Okay, let's go through the OEQ section now. Okay, we're gonna move into the OEQ section, starting with question 5. Okay, Ben wanted to carry out an experiment to find out the conditions needed for photosynthesis. Okay, I'm sure by now you all know what are the conditions needed for photosynthesis. Anyone can tell me? Stomata, huh? Stomata is not the condition for photosynthesis. Okay, what do plants need in order to carry out the green thing? Like what? There's many green things. Okay, water, yes, light, and one more thing, CO2. Okay, yes, at least light, water, and CO2, right? So but the material is CO2 plus water, all right? And of course, you need light energy, all right, in order to carry out photosynthesis. Okay, so these 3 things are what you need. Okay, and then photosynthesis, hopefully you remember what does it produce. Okay, it produces a food and it releases oxygen as well. It produce oxygen and release oxygen. Okay, chlorophyll, yes, the green thing is chlorophyll, not the green thing, right? But I think you are no longer tested on chlorophyll. You just need to know chlorophyll. Okay, I think only. I'm not so sure. All right. So okay, but let's move on to the next part, right? After placing a potted plant in the dark for 24 hours, okay. So in order to ensure a fair test, you need to place the potted plant, okay, in a dark place. We call this to de-starch the plant, right? So he wrapped 2 leaves using a clear plastic bag. Okay, clear plastic bag, very important because it allows light to pass through. right, and placed a different substances in each bag. Okay, we can see the different substances here. These substances will absorb either carbon dioxide or water. It will absorb carbon dioxide or water. Okay, so he watered the plant. That means there is sufficient water before placing the setup in a sunny location. So there is light. Okay, there is water, right? So the plant is able to make food, right? In the setup below. Okay, the plant is able to make food except for this, right? Because there is a substance that absorbs carbon dioxide. It means that this leaf over here probably, okay, cannot receive any CO2, right? Equals to cannot, okay, make food, right? So these are info that you should derive as you read through the question. Okay, he placed the plant under the bright sunlight. Okay, bright sunlight for 6 hours from 8 to 2. He then carried out the iodine test to check for the presence of starch. Okay, hopefully you'll still remember. But if you don't remember, usually nowadays the question will tell you, right? The iodine, the presence of starch will cause the iodine to turn blue-black, while a yellowish brown indicates the absence of starch, right? So for part A, indicate the part found in the leaf that allows it to trap light. Okay, no wonder you are telling me chlorophyll, because part A requires the answer chlorophyll, right? Okay, chlorophyll is the part in the leaf which traps the light energy, okay, trap light energy, so that the leaf or the plant can use the light energy to carry out photosynthesis, all right? Okay, then next, in the table below, put a tick in the correct box to show the results of the iodine test. So you need to know what is the results of the iodine test when leaf S and T. Okay, where is S and T? S is this, T is this. Okay, T cannot make food. So by now you should know T is yellowish brown. Yes, Twinkle, you're correct. Okay, S looks perfectly fine, right? Okay, so S is here, looks like it can make food. So S should be blue-black because it has all the conditions, right? So T should be yellowish brown because white. Okay, no carbon dioxide, right? Okay, for T. Okay, so once you realize this, then you will know what is the color change. Then we move on to part C. Ben then tested leaf U for the presence of starch. Where is leaf U? Oh, okay, leaf U is over here, the other plastic bag. But leaf U, okay, the substance that absorbs water is not gonna affect anything, right? Okay, that B. Okay, so I think leaf U will still be able to make food. Okay, any other question? If no, okay, we move on to part B. Okay, what would the color be for the iodine on the leaf, right? So if it can make food, definitely the iodine will be blue, right? Okay, blue, black. Okay, you need to explain your answer. So when explaining your answer, you need to talk about the conditions. Okay, conditions which will allow the leaf U to carry out photosynthesis. Okay, so let me write down the color first. It's going to be blue, black. Then, okay, talk about the fact that the plastic bag, right, is going to allow, the plastic bag allows light, okay, to pass, pass through, right, okay, which will allow the leaf, okay, to trap, okay, light, and okay, and with, okay, water from the Okay, roots and, oh no, I'm running out of space. Okay, carbon dioxide. Okay, from the surroundings. Okay, then it can make food. Okay, through photosynthesis. Okay, so talk about the plastic that allows light to pass through. So this will allow the leaf to trap light, okay, plus water. If you want to be more detailed, you can talk about the water from the roots, carbon dioxide from the surroundings. Okay, with all these three conditions, it's going to allow the leaf to carry out photosynthesis or make food. Okay, any question? Yep, let's try not to spam, because anyone, I hope most of you are P6 students. I don't know, I'm sure there are who is not a P6 student here. Can answer without the details. It's best to include more details into your science OEQ question. Okay, actually you're not P6, then you're what, like Set 1 or what, P4? Who is not a P6 student? Tag this message. How do you tag this message? Maybe Asher is like, I don't know, 30-year-old. Cloudly, hi, Cloudly. 12, isn't 12 P6? Or are you talking about like 12 as in Sec 1? Last year P6, this is Sec 1. Just ate finish dinner. Okay, I hope your dinner is nice. I don't know. What do you eat? Cloudly, tell us. Pizza. Oh, okay. I'm having an ulcer, so I can't really eat pizza, but I'm sure pizza is always nice. Pizza and chicken wing. Okay. Oh, not done. Okay, can. I was about to scroll away. Thanks for letting me know. Okay, so photosynthesis and respiration. By now, hopefully, you all know what are the conditions needed for photosynthesis to occur. Okay, and also what are the products of photosynthesis. Okay, just remember the word equation and know how to describe photosynthesis. All right, because photosynthesis respiration is not a difficult topic. So if you can master it, then there's one less problem already. All right. Okay, I hope you are done with part B. Okay, I'm gonna move on to part C. I will just leave it up there. Oh, sorry. Next question already. Question 6. Okay, so wait, let me scroll down a bit so you can see. Okay, question 6. Tara has a toy car with a spring, right, attached to its back. In order for the car to move forward, she has to push the back of the car against the wall before releasing it as shown below. Okay, so she push it, right? Why does she want to push it? So that she can compress the spring. Okay, so a spring that is compressed will have what kind of energy? Anyone? Faith. Yes. What kind of potential energy? Elastic potential energy. Okay, we don't call it elastic energy. Be very careful. All right. So we'll have elastic potential energy. Okay, I'm just gonna write it in a short form. So then when you release it, then this elastic potential energy can be converted to kinetic energy, right? Just now someone, Faith, right? Faith said yes. Then can be converted to kinetic energy plus heat and sound. Okay, so heat and sound, I think at this stage, a lot of students still cannot visualize the heat energy especially, but once we go through forces and then we learn about friction, will TikTok ban? Will I get banned again? I don't know. I hope not. Tick Queen, I guess you're around that time when I got banned. Forgot the I didn't forget about it. I just lazy to wear now. Okay. Yeah, I can see, but not that clearly, but it's fine. Still can see. Okay. How did I get banned? Don't remember. I don't know. Just ban me for no reason. Yeah, but it's only a 7 minutes ban. So was it a 7 minutes ban? I think it's a 7 minutes ban. Yep. Then I just chill and come back live again. Okay. But yep, that was a long time ago. Last year, maybe. Okay, so describe the energy conversion. Describe the energy conversion that took place when the toy car moved forward after being released. Okay, so it's very important to know when you want to describe, right? So I'm gonna start by saying when released. Okay, the elastic. Okay, I'm writing down elastic potential energy is because it's for your benefit, so you all can learn. But during exam, you don't need to write elastic potential energy. You can just write potential energy. Okay, the elastic potential energy, okay, of the compressed spring is converted okay, converted to kinetic energy, okay, of the car. Okay. Okay, so in this case, don't need to talk about sound and heat energy. Yes, a Linder. EPE converted to KE. Okay, then next part. Tara has another similar toy car but with different length of the same type of spring. Okay, wait, let me highlight the same type of spring attached to it. So the only thing that is changed is kind of like this, right? Different length. So she conducted an experiment using both toy cars and measured the distance traveled by each car. So this is then the measured variable, which is a distance traveled by each car, right? So if the question is asking you to state the aim, right, of the experiment, so remember how do we define the aim of something, right? The aim of something in science is always how the changed variable affect the measured variable, right? So it can be something like to find out if the length of spring affects the distance traveled by the car. Yes, very good, Aizang. Okay, so to find out. Okay, but it's in this case it's better to say to find out, okay, how the length of the spring affects the distance, okay, traveled by the toy car. Is it toy car or car? Okay, toy car. Okay, so in this case, the length of the spring will be the changed variable, right? So the distance traveled will be the measured variable. Okay, very standard is usually to find out how does the changed variable affect the measured variable. What secondary school did I go to? I went to Guangyang Secondary School, and it is still surviving, it's still around. But I haven't went back to my secondary school ever since I like finished my O level. Never even went back once. Sushi Monster, you're in RI. Wow. Okay. So you're the nerdy hit, smart and nerdy hit, right? Oh, but nowadays, maybe jogging. Oh my goodness. Like, okay, I thought you are. I had high hopes for you. How can it affect? Wait, what? Okay, any question? Teacher, how can it affect? Huh? Wait, Yihao, what do you mean by how can it affect? What is RI? RI is the school, Raffles Institution, right? Okay, let's quickly move on to the next part. I think we need to move a bit faster. Okay, what should Tara do to ensure that the results are reliable? Right, to ensure results are reliable, right, we always repeat the experiment 3 times, right? And then you can say to and then I think teachers still at Compass 1. Huh? Compass 1? No, I'm not at Compass 1, as in I'm still teaching at the Sengkang CC branch. Yes. Okay, so reliable, to make sure that the results are reliable or consistent. So she repeat the experiment, yes, but try to be specific. Okay, repeat. She should repeat the experiment. Okay, usually we use 3 times, all right, or 2 more times. Okay, and take the average of the results. Okay. Okay, so this is a very standard, right? Reliable. It's always repeat 3 times or repeat 2 more times. If you want to talk about take the average of the results, you can. If you don't talk about it, I don't think you will be penalized. Okay, but you must say repeat the experiment. Okay, hopefully you'll understand this by now. My school say write measure average. Okay, yeah. I think some teachers prefer and some teachers want to enforce it, but accuracy is a different thing. Accuracy and reliability is a different thing. Reliability is about consistency. Accuracy of the result is about how accurate it is. Okay, so a bit difficult to explain now verbally. Must show you something. Okay, but we need to move on. Okay, all right. So if you are confused, just know that reliability and accuracy is different thing. It's not the same thing. All right. Okay, diagram below shows the mallet, shows a mallet. A mallet is like a hammer. Okay, in case you are confused, it's like a hammer. Okay, connected at point W, it is allowed to swing freely about Y. Okay, so it can swing down, hit the ball, right? When released from position A, it will swing and hit the ball. So state the main forms of energy. So just now earlier on, what did we learn, right? When it is raised, okay, it will have gravitational potential energy, right? So the first one will be, okay, gravitational potential energy. Gravitational potential energy. Okay, so when it is swinging, it's moving, right? So swinging is moving, right? Anything that moves will have kinetic energy. Okay, so again, moving, right? Oops. Okay, so moving, that means also kinetic energy. Okay, so this is energy conversion, right? Energy conversion, I think, requires a bit of practice. The more you practice, the more you can see the conversion, and after a while, a lot of students, like, very naturally will become very good in energy conversion. But right now, at the beginning, I think you all might get confused a bit. Yes, you don't need to write gravitational. You can just write potential energy. You will not get penalized. But the reason why I'm writing it down is because a lot of students, I think, at this point haven't even covered the forms of energy topic. How long more? Until 8, death. So this is the last question. Then after that, we're running the Kahoot already. All right. Okay, the mallet can also be released at position B as shown. So why no sound? Is there no sound, or like You can say the periodic table now without stopping. Huh? For what? I don't even remember the periodic table. It's not my job to remember the periodic table. It's not my job anymore. I'm not a student. Why no sound energy? Is there sound? Can you hear me? Or wait, what? No sound? Sure not. Okay. So position B is at a higher place, right? So higher, remember, will have more got sound. Okay, good. So higher is equals to more GPE, right? So if it has more GPE, then it will be able to convert to okay, can convert to more kinetic energy, right? Okay, so which position A or B will cause the ball to travel a further distance? So definitely is B, right? We should cause it to travel a further distance. Then explain. Okay, so explanation of energy question, right? We just need to explain in terms of energy conversion. But I'm gonna write it down and show you because I think a lot of you probably don't know how to explain in terms of energy conversion, right? But I'm sure you know it will be at position B. So it is at a higher. But just remember the two factors that will affect the amount of gravitational potential energy, right? So this is what we learned today, okay? Which is height and mass. So it is at a higher height, okay? Teacher, when the ball get hit by the mallet, why no sound energy? Definitely will have sound energy, okay? But the sound energy is not the useful energy. Okay? It is at a higher height. So the mallet has more gravitational potential. Okay, you can just write short form lah, GP. Don't need to write the full thing. Okay, because it's just you are just learning. This is not an exam, so you will not get penalized. So it has more gravitational potential energy, but I cannot write short form because if I write short form, then people complain. Then I will get penalized. Okay, which will be right after this the Kahoot. Okay, which will be converted to more okay, kinetic energy. Okay, of the ball, comma, allowing it to okay, travel a further distance. Okay, useless energy. I don't know. I don't remember. Is it called useless energy? But it's not the main energy that you want. For example, a light bulb, right? What's the energy that is useful? Light energy, correct? But a light bulb definitely produce heat energy. But is the heat energy useful? No, the heat energy in light bulb is useless, right? In your phone also, your phone, need light, need sound, but will become hot, right? But is the heat energy useful? No, also useless, right? The heat energy. Okay, so there's useful energy and I don't know is it called useless energy, but you can think of it as useless energy lah. Okay. Part C. All right. So explain in terms of energy why the ball stop moving after some time. All right. So stop moving means no more energy, but we don't say energy is lost. Right now, a lot of y'all will have this habit of saying energy is lost. But remember, energy cannot be created or cannot be destroyed. Heat from phone, heat from phone can make you warm. Okay, what if you're under the sun? Then you are like already so warm. Okay, so we describe it as saying that all the energy, so all the kinetic energy. Oh, there's those like warmer, right? Heat, what's that? Hand warmer kind of thing. Okay, which you use in like cold places. All the kinetic energy has been converted. Okay, we say converted to heat and sound energy. Okay. Oh, I forgot to highlight the key points. Okay, higher, so more potential energy, so convert to more kinetic, allowing it to travel further, right? So all the kinetic energy, right? You must say all the kinetic energy has been converted. Okay, so please make sure you all get used to converted. Cannot say energy is lost. Friction is not energy, friction is forces. Okay, so once you go into forces, then you will start to get very confused because there's also like gravitational force, there's elastic spring force. Okay, all the kinetic energy has been converted to heat and sound. Yes. Okay. So, oh my goodness. Okay, I forgot the Kahoot should be. Got no sound. I think should have sound. Okay. Okay. Um, click on the teacher and you will see a sound bar. Okay, I need to load the Kahoot now, but before I load the Kahoot, can I off the sharing? Okay, not the camera. Hold on. I want to off the iPad because oh no, I shifted something and I don't know what I shifted. Okay, anyway, okay, this is what I want to do. Okay, the cast. Okay, never mind, I'll fix that later. But sorry, let me load the Kahoot. I forgot that the Kahoot needs to be loaded from my iPad. Sorry, I'm trying to log into the Kahoot. Trying to make sure that I'm still alive. Yes, so TikTok is asking me to slide something and make sure I'm not dead. That scared you. Okay, hold on. Still loading. Okay, but I need the cast here. But oh, okay, there. Okay, wait. Library. Where is my TikTok? Week 9. Okay, this is the one. Can I host it now? Host live. Okay, good. Oh, okay. Let me close this first. Okay, it's running. It's running. Wait. Continue with no. Okay. Classic mode. Start. Okay. Let me. Yeah, of course you. Okay, if you don't want to play, yes, sure, you can don't join. Okay, the pin is 463825. Okay. But you can win a prize if you get top 3 placing. Okay, so let me just put on this first. Okay, if you get top 3 placing, I think you can message the admins in TikTok. Then they will send you a prize, a random prize. Okay, Cannot see. Oh, sorry. The thing's blocking. Okay, the pin that I also got paste the pin inside the chat. Okay, let me see. How many are there? Really? What really? Okay, but you all got to see from your device, okay? Because like I think the TikTok live part of the question will be blocked. Okay. Okay, I think we need to start now. Okay, those who miss a lot of people, yes. Yep. Okay, those are, I think because there's TikTok today, so everybody know. Okay, first question, true or false? Plants only carry out photosynthesis in the day and respiration at night. True or false? Okay, good. 15 people got tricked. Remember, plants carry out respiration all the time, right? Even during the day and at night. Place the pin or the wrong word in the equation. But can you see inside your phone or in your device? Because can I move it up? Okay, let me try and move it up a bit. I hope it doesn't block. Okay, anything. Okay, it's yep, nitrogen. There's no nitrogen in photosynthesis. Okay. During respiration, only energy is produced. Is that true or false? No. Huh? Cannot enter? But I think now if you want to enter, it's a bit too late already. I think you still can use the pin to enter. Okay, yeah, there's also carbon dioxide and water, right, during respiration. Okay. Okay, let's speed it up next. Multis like double point so fast. Okay, so what are the factors that affect the amount of kinetic energy? Oh, okay. Just now I never talk about factors affecting kinetic energy, but hmm. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay, it's actually speed and mass. Quite a lot of you all got it correct. Okay, MJ Ultimate 6-7. So, what's the energy conversion for a washing machine? Oh, I hope you all can see the options. I'll shift it up a bit. Maybe I off the follow us. Where's the follow us? Okay. This one, energy conversion. I think you're still not very used to energy conversion. Okay, but true false, definitely you can see, right? As in, you can tell. Okay, trying to adjust so that you can see the question also. Okay, true, good. A lot of you all got it correct. What? MG Ultimate still in the first place. Hanging on. Okay, double point. This is your chance to catch up. Which of the following variables represents the rate of photosynthesis? Okay, this one I think you scroll up. Okay, which of the following variable can represent the rate of photosynthesis? Yes, I know, it's already 8. Yeah, but I got to just finish the Kahoot. Okay, it's only 4 minutes, don't worry. Okay, not bad, a lot of you all got it correct. Okay, just one last question. Again, double point, which the following does not convert potential energy to other forms of energy. Okay, drop your pin and then put it on the item that does not convert potential energy to other forms of energy. Okay, 20 more seconds. No. Okay, the burger is chemical potential, so definitely is potential. Spring is elastic potential, yes. Those who choose the last three, okay, the last three doesn't convert potential energy to other forms of energy, okay? Okay, so if you're in the top 3, please take a screenshot. Yihao is third. Iris is number 2. Number 1, I think should be MG Ultimate, right? Okay, MG Ultimate. All right. So take a screenshot, message the admin. I believe they're still sending out the prizes for the Kahoot. Right. Okay. Congratulations to the ones. All right. So I don't remember when I'll see you again, but yeah. Hopefully today y'all learn something about especially forms of energy. Okay. Any question? If no question, then this will be I'll see you. Bye. Have fun. Make your dinner. Okay, study hard for your PSLE. Bye.